Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Simnaya. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So I am going to ask this: how great is America at this point in time? Because some people wanted to make it great, and they asked you people, how great was it before that you want to make it great again? Some people don't listen. Some people thought that it is not their problem. It never gets to them because they have the skin color for protection, not knowing that some things are beyond skin color protection. And this particular one is a great one, showing you that your skin color got nothing on this particular one because everybody is about to experience it. Now, House GOP lawmakers are proposing nearly 1 trillion in cuts to Medicare and food stamps, SNAPs, and the rest of it. So who will this impact? Literally, this is going to impact everybody. This is not about black, but it is impacting. Now, let me tell us something, because I remember some certain things. When you want to deceive a white person, tell the person that it is only black people that benefit from this, and they will never, ever come close to that, not knowing that they are the most beneficial. I saw a comment of a white man where a black woman was talking about how all these things will be cut. Guess what I saw in the comment section? The one said, it is time for you to start paying for your thing. What do they actually think? That black people are the ones benefiting more, or the same way they thought about affirmative action, DEI, and the rest of it? Let's get into this video.
Hey guys, happy Friday. Well, it looks like the Republicans passed Trump's big, beautiful bill. That big, beautiful bill that's cutting your Medicaid, your Medicare. Republicans did this now. Republicans passed a bill. The Republican-controlled Congress passed a bill, Donald Trump's so-called big, beautiful bill. It's cutting your Medicaid. It's going to cut your Medicare. It's going to cut your SNAP benefits. It's going to cut your Social Security benefits. And all kind of other little goodies in there. The Republicans are voting for things like there's never going to be another election. Have you guys noticed that? They're backing anything this man does as if they would never have to rely on being elected again. They're passing things that are, in normal times, political career ending. They're putting their names to things that normally would mean the end of their political career. So what is that telling you? They're voting like they know something you don't know. They're voting like they don't need your vote ever again. And not to forget, Trump told y'all during the campaign, if you vote now, you never have to vote again. So it seems to be looking like, to me, the Republicans don't ever expect to have to win your vote again. That's why they're voting against all of your benefits. They're voting against all of your rights. They don't have to worry anymore about you putting them in office. That's what it seems like to me. Right? And then just recently, Mike Johnson, the leader of the Do Nothing Republican Party, the Do Nothing Congress Republican Party, he came on the other day in front of America and I guess tried to do this heartfelt plea of how, the Congress salary hasn't been raised since 2009. And they just cannot make it on $174,000 a year. And they're taking these positions to serve us, so they're sacrificing. They're sacrificing themselves to service us, the American people. So in order to do that, to serve us, and at the sacrifice supposedly that they're giving, they want the American public to go along with them committing insider trading, which is illegal, which is against the law. And they're basing it on because their salary hasn't went up since 2009. I have one question. The minimum wage has been frozen at $7.25 an hour since 2009. So should those people also be entitled to committing insider trading? Should they be allowed to do illegal insider trading? Because they surely cannot make it in this economy off $7.25 an hour. So if Mike Johnson is trying to justify committing a crime of insider trading because they can't make it off $174,000 a year, surely the people that are only making $7.25 should jump to the front of that line, because I know damn well they not making it. And Mike Johnson, while you up here hollering your salary is $174,000 a year, your net worth is between $6 million and $10 million. How are you not making it? If you never make another dime, you got enough money to last you the rest of your life. But you want to go out and commit crimes. You want you and your Congress to be able to go out here and commit insider trading because you're greedy. So people, what they're saying is you're not paying them enough to take your health care. You're not paying them enough for taking your veterans benefits. You're not paying them enough to take your Social Security. You're not paying them enough to take your SNAP benefits. They need more money to continue to ruin your life. Do y'all get it yet? Do you get it? They have a whole plan up their sleeve for you, and it's not good. They're voting like there's no election tomorrow. Because my thinking is, according to what they're trying to pull off, it won't be another vote. It won't be another election in this country. Think about it. Why do you think they would be voting like there's no repercussions? Why would they be voting as if they don't have to answer to anybody at the next election? Think about it, people. Think about it. It has gotten to the point to where if you don't stand up and pay attention to what is really going on, by the time you try to wake up, it's going to be too late. Do you know that, remember Project 2025? Do you know that they are just about at 50% of completing all the things they had in Project 25? I think they're at 40-some% of it. In 100 and something days, they have 40% of their agenda completed. See, that's what they wanted to do the last time Trump was in office. They didn't realize that Trump was so incompetent that he couldn't get anything done. So this time they weren't taking the chances. All those executive orders you see Trump being handed and explained to him because he hasn't read it, and look on his face, he don't know what the hell he's signing. That's Project 2025. They've taken the position of what Trump was supposed to have done last time. So they're going to make sure it gets done because they're the ones doing it. Remember, it was even said that people from Project 2025 would be writing his next, would be writing the articles or the bills for his next election. So MAGA Republicans and Trump supporters, y'all played right into their hands. And you dealt a devastating blow, not only to the American people, but to yourselves as well. You're losing your farms. You're losing jobs. You've been laid off left and right. DEI no longer. White women, y'all got hit the hardest. As quiet as it's kept, you guys were the biggest benefactors of DEI. But they want y'all back at home in them kitchens, so no more corner offices, no more CEOs, no more executives, no more the only woman on the team. Proud of yourselves? Because it's just the beginning. Keep waking up in the mornings to more and more loss, to more and more poverty, to more and more of your rights being taken away. Until the day you look up what Donald Trump is king of the United States. Because that's what they are booking on. And that's what they're trying to sneak through that 1,000-page big beautiful bill that they wanted them to do in 3 hours, 1,000 pages. It's all kind of little traps in there. It's all kind of little trickery in there. They're doing this man bidding. They are more afraid of a demented, senile, diaper wearing white man than they are of you, because they know you guys are never going to be able to vote again. What the Republican Party is doing right now is ensuring we go to dictatorship, and you guys voted for it and you put us there. So I have one question and I'm out. Is it great again yet? Asking for a friend.
Now that Republicans almost have their Medicaid cuts across the finish line, I've got a question. Why are Republicans so fucking comfortable letting poor people die? The right will tell you it's about fiscal responsibility, but that's bullshit. You don't get to call yourself pro-life while ripping the healthcare away from the working poor, kids, seniors in nursing homes, folks with disabilities. And this bill adds a work requirement for Medicaid. This sounds great on paper. If you want benefits, get a fucking job. Here's what they won't say about that. Every adult in this country knows how hard it is to get paperwork through a fucking government office. And now it's going to be damn near impossible because they fired half the federal workers and gutted the systems that actually process those claims. Because this isn't about encouraging people to work. It's a paperwork trap, a way to kick people off healthcare without saying it out loud. Republicans also love to say, we can't afford it. Really? We can afford tax cut for billionaires. We can afford defense spending increases. But making sure poor people can't get their fucking insulin is a government handout. Let's be clear here. This is policy violence, a clear, calculated choice to abandon people that need help the most. The wildest part about this bill, this is a policy from the old money Republican playbook. The party today is changed, and they're about to cut the healthcare away from their own fucking voters.
So I'm going to make you aware of something, but instead of just leaving it as news, I'm also going to give you something that is tangible and maybe a way forward for all of us to get through this. The House bill that passed last night unfortunately includes a provision that bans Medicaid from covering gender-affirming care. Period. Not just for kids. Anyone of any age. For clarity's sake and maybe a morsel of hope, this does not include a ban on gender-affirming mental health care. Also, don't forget, this has to go to the Senate and be amended and then go back to the House. Like, there's still quite a journey left for this bill, and this means that we can do something about it, like contact our senators, but that's not the tangible thing that I'm going to offer you around this, which you're welcome. If you receive or provide gender-affirming care, if you love someone who receives or provides gender-affirming care and has a relationship with Medicaid and the reimbursement, this is for you. I, in my bio, have a link to a Linktree, and it will take you to a Linktree page, I don't know, and the first link is for you. I may or may not know the person who made it, and it might be someone who might be me, but I don't know, like, allegedly, perhaps. So take that as you will, and whoever needs it, please give it to them. I know we're gonna have to get creative and also resourceful, and sometimes when things are positioning you to get creative, you figure out the way and then you make sure other people know, but you don't make a big deal about it and you keep it pretty chill so that we can keep accessing that. So all of this is to say, check it out. I think this is going to be helpful in some way, shape, or form to give us some direction and make sure that we're all safe. This is something that I actually have been talking about for a long time and have had this at the ready for a minute. But I am not here to say I told you so at all. I'm not here to say anything other than know this, and here's something that might help.
So, as you may have heard, the House passed the big, beautiful bill on Thursday with a single vote. This bill is terrible for a number of reasons, but we're going to focus on the Medicaid aspect of it. So, for those of you who don't know, Medicaid is a federal health insurance. This covers a 80 million people below the poverty level. And this ranges from state to state. So the federal poverty level would be people making, I believe, 23,000 and below. And it changes by state compared to how each state has expanded it. So if you live in New York State, this would be people making 34,900 and below. But yes, this is, health insurance. And as you can see from the headline, this would cut nearly $1 trillion. So what this would actually do is cut $700 billion over the course of 10 years. And this would effectively uninsure millions of people. And one of the things in this bill particularly is that it would require people to work 80 hours a week to maintain their Medicaid, which they currently don't have to. And that alone would effectively get around 10 million people kicked off of the insurance. In addition, so if this bill were to pass, this would go into effect in late 2026. But here's the good news. So this is only passed in the House, and it passed barely. Even Republicans are aware that their states are most benefited by a program like Medicaid. So currently, there are 7 Republicans that are opposing the bill, which would create a lack of majority for the bill to pass. Of course, with government and things like this, bills get edited and cut down to then pass other things through. So realistically, we're not going to be seeing a $700 billion cut, but we may most likely see some sort of cut coming to Medicaid. So for things you can do, it's really just a matter of bugging the hell out of Republican senators to let them know that this is something we don't want. But yeah, of course, if you have any questions or anything at all, just leave a comment. I'll try.
This is all I got from this video. The truth is that some people don't listen. And one thing with these people is that tag some certain things that Black people are the ones benefiting from it, and you will see them not want to look that direction. Because if you saw Project 2025, you definitely will also know that this is part of it. And I remember Black people screaming their lungs out to pass this message across to people, especially that Medicaid. Black people talk so much on it to the extent that they started going on the street. And I can tell you how many people that I saw on the street trying to educate people, trying to tell them. And some were like, oh, my grandmother is on this. The other one will say, my father, if anything happens to this, it means we are cooked. Why? Because we will not be able to afford it. We will not be able to afford it. And so many of these kids, that their kids like disabled and all that. These people did not say a lot about it at that time. But it is now that I see a lot of them coming out to talk about how it's going to affect them, how their kids are these, how their grandmother or how their mother also. See, I don't know how to explain this situation and everything that has happened from November to this time, but I am sure in your next election, you will choose better. But I don't know if there will be next election. Why? Because this man made it clear that I wanted to vote so that you will not have to vote again. I don't know the length at which this might get, but if it gets out of hand, it means people will be stuck with this. People will be stuck with this. I don't know for how long, but as long as the man wants it to last. Some of you all did not even love yourself that so much, or some of you all thought it was not going to affect you, or some of you did it because you probably wanted to it's going to affect Black people and other people, right? But this particular one is in general, it's going to affect everybody. There is no color exemption. And how many times have you actually gone to the gas station to get gas, and they tell you because you voted for this person, we're giving you discount? No, it doesn't work that way. This was the reason why they were calling you to come together. Let's look for a way to save things so that it doesn't get out of hand. At this point, it is bad. How great is it now? I am not sure you want to say something about this, but it is far, far, far from being great. Bye for now.